Welcome to the Monday Morning Wake Up Call with your host, Kerry Ramage, managing broker at Remax Elite, and Heather Holiday, your social marketing nut, talking about hottest real estate topics with a little weekly activity and motivation for the week.
Oh my God, you're going to kill me because I'm not ready. There we go. I'm ready now. My computer is, I don't know, it's moving very laggy today.
Some things just don't change,
I
even after 3 seasons.
know. I don't know. Oh, well.
It is what it is. But happy Monday. Gosh, I'm still blown away. It's like mid-July.
I know.
Like we'll be
I
doing
know.
our quarter.
Summer's almost over. It's funny. I was visiting with some friends and they said something about, what are you doing for the summer? And I'm like, summer's almost over.
It feels like it just started. Although
I know.
Definitely weird when you don't have kids in school, because right now it would be like registration for us up here because school starts like super early up here, like August 1st.
Wow. Oh, that's really early.
It's been 3 years now since I moved up here, because I remember scrambling trying to get the kids and registered and get all the paperwork together and all the health records, and it was like a nightmare. I'm glad I don't have to do that anymore. Thank goodness.
I know. So yeah, Gavin's getting ready for his last year. He has one more week and then band camp starts, and then we have registration August 3rd, and then school starts. So it's a little cuckoo.
Gosh. Well, today's show's all about 4 things that you guys should be doing every single day.
And it's funny because we always talk about time blocking and being consistent and following your calendar. And I remember years ago, I had did a post on Facebook that said something about, I'm not on my goal, or I'm on my goal. I can't remember what it was. And I need to, look at everything and make sure I'm on track. And somebody commented and said, what do you mean? Don't you just take it as it comes? And I was like, no, if we took it as it came, we'd probably never sell any houses, because you just have to be out there doing stuff all the time.
There's a lot of people who do that, but
true.
But then I feel you're kind of like on this roller coaster, right? Because you get busy and then you're not doing the things that you probably should be doing, or things that you do when you're in that low point, and then everyone freaks out. And then it's like, well, go schedule a vacation, because then you'll go back up.
Right.
I mean, that's just, if somebody says to me, I'm freaking out, I don't have anything going on, I'm like, book a vacation.
Yeah.
That's when everything, I mean, even for me, and I don't sell real estate, that's when everything's going to happen.
For sure. I mean,
that's just the way it goes. But if you're consistent with the things that you're supposed to be doing for your business, and you're consistent, I feel, it's more like this versus that ridiculous roller coaster. And then you're kind of going on there's a quote, like a whatever and a prayer, whatever.
A wing and a prayer.
That's it. Thank you.
A wing and a prayer. Right. So we don't want to be going on a wing and a prayer. We want to make sure we're treating our business like a business, whether
it is.
Right. Because it is a business. Right. So whether you work from home or you work from an office, I don't know that this is clearly that I work from an office, but I work from an office. I always have, because I can't focus when I'm at home. I'll find everything else to do. So whatever it is, make sure you're treating your business like a business. You're going to work every day. You're following your calendar, you're time blocking, and you're doing the things that we're about to talk about.
Right. And I go to an office every day, but I do get stuff done throughout the day because, I'm in my backyard.
Right. Well, that's different though, because it's not in your house, so.
No, and it has made a difference with it not being in my house. So I'm not distracted with the animals and the kids and, all the deliveries and this and that. So I am in my backyard, but I like being so close. So, I can switch out laundry or, do dishes, get
Right.
dinner kind of prepped or whatever on my breaks, and
Right.
I do have on my calendar, I have my lunch break. So I have the same thing every day and whatever. But I'm all about routine. Like that's my comfort zone is having a routine.
Right.
It makes my day go better. I just that's probably was the hardest part about when I tried to do real estate is you're all over the place and it's being new it was hard because if I don't want to do that appointment, well there's 1,000 other people who will.
Who will.
And
Exactly.
that just was definitely something I wasn't thinking about after doing transactional stuff for 10 years for multiple agents. That was the hardest part for me on real estate
Right.
is that time blocking. And because
Right.
that's where I thrive is the time
Is
blocking.
the time blocking. Well, so, and just to, if you're watching, give us a little shout out right in the comments. Let us know you're here. And just a quick shout out to my friend Jamie, who is the husband of one of my college friends who I had the opportunity to go away with my two longest running, oldest college friends last week, Kathy and Marcy. But Jamie watches every week, except they are in Italy celebrating their 25th wedding anniversary. So Jamie, if you're watching from Italy, give us a little shout out. Let us know you're here, but I doubt you are. So,
I hope there's a lot of better other things to do. But it is like afternoon over there.
right. His most recent post on Facebook was them having lunch somewhere in Italy. So
Yes, I think
that's
my dad's in Germany, so that's like 6 it depends. I get
something
all
like that.
confused because of
5, 6, 7 hours, depending on
the
where
time change. So it always
you are.
messes me up.
But he's one of our biggest fans, so he watches every week. Anyway,
Well, that's
uh,
awesome. That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. So the number one thing you need to be doing is work your client management system. And that's, I mean, we talk about that all the time. Most of us are operating on a wing and a prayer. We don't really have a great system in place. There's so many products out there. Chime has a product. KV Core has a product that you can use, within their system for client management. There's the oldie but goodie top producer is there, and interestingly enough, Quintavious Burdett, who's like killing it in real estate, he says this is his client management system, and he has like everybody that's in his phone has a code, whatever the codes are that he's set up, and he just goes through that, and that's how he keeps in contact with everybody. So if you're not into some big fancy system, you've got this right here that has all your contacts in it, and you can use that to keep in contact with
I
people.
mean, you got the Buffini, you got Follow Up Boss. Even if you are just using a Google, spreadsheet, Excel, something that has your contacts and sphere. And to me, that's kind of real estate 101. It's something I would tell any new agent, get that database together, your sphere, then you can start adding on your past clients. Make sure to update that. It should be part of like your closing checklist.
Yep. Yes, to make sure the people are in there, and that way you're following up with them after the transaction. I mean, there's multiple ways you need to be following up with them during the transaction, obviously, after the transaction, which then is after the transaction and potentially before the transaction, right? Because the next transaction is coming with that. But once it's done, the relationship is not over. You need to keep in contact with them. And we learned from Brian Buffini, I feel like 100 years ago, and that's probably what Quintavious does in his phone, is you give him a rating of A, B, C, and D. Who's looking now, who will look in the future, who's a great just referral partner. They're not moving anytime soon, but you want to make sure that you are in front of them so they remember to refer you to others.
And that's also why I love like the First app, because it almost tells you who to reach out to. So to me,
Right.
that's like a game changer app.
I go like this with the First app, so I'll use it and I'll be consistent and I'll be doing great with it, and then I stop, and then I'm like, 5 months later, let me start looking at the First app again and start.
But it almost tells you what to do every single day. So
I
maybe you
know.
have a goal, like, to reach out to 5 people that are in your system. I mean, there's so many different things that you could be doing, but just, and that's one thing I love about the Tom Ferry has that 5552 or whatnot, because it's something that you can be doing daily. It's something I know whenever we would coach with agents, it's kind of like have a bunch of those printed, have it in your notebook. I want to see exactly what you're doing. And
Right.
and it's almost, like my son who's like, I swear he spends 3 hours at the gym every single day.
Good for him.
Yeah, but he's not losing any weight. And I'm like, well, you're never going to out exercise a bad diet. I want you to do, because I remember in college and I had to take some exercise class, right? Like a fitness, I don't even know what it was. But the most enlightening thing I did was for 2 weeks, and it was part of the final exam. We actually had to write down everything we ate. We needed to know the carbs, the calories, all that stuff.
Right.
And I worked at Domino's all through college. So of course I lived on pizza. And
Right.
at that point, I could eat a full large pizza in one sitting loaded, right? And it never took
And
away.
it didn't affect you.
No, it never took away. I still had a 6-pack. I could wear a halter top and go out to the bar, whatever, that all changed probably about 25,
Right.
but for him, I'm like, but what are you consuming? Because you're never going to out exercise a bad diet. And I keep telling him, I want him to do the same thing. I want you for 2 weeks to write down everything that you're consuming that's going in, to
Right.
see what the calories you are. Because if, and now that we have like these watches that pretty much tell us everything that we're doing when we're exercising. I mean, it kind of blows my mind because like yesterday we went out for a hike and I literally thought I was going to die. They're like, oh, it's only a half a mile hike, from the trailhead. It's pretty easy, harder coming back, but you're going all downhill. Well, oh my gosh. Like I literally going down was still hard. And of course I'm in flip flops, and it's like they tease you with this nice groomed short little trail. And then all of a sudden you get to the end and you're like climbing over trees and rocks.
Right.
Your steps are all built in like little rocks, but it was amazing, right? But I still thought I was going to die going back. And I'm like, well, at least I can say I saw it. I got a lot of videos and photos. Not sure I'll be going down there anytime soon. And my calves, as soon as I went to go get up today, totally, but you have all of this stuff, but still it was only 250 calories that I burned. And then Leo goes and gets dessert. And I'm like, I'm not eating that. With what I did today, that'll destroy everything.
Right.
It'll be like nothing.
Right. So I mean, so that's it. It's having, like what you're telling Hunter, is having a plan and writing it down, because if you write it and you keep track of it, then you know kind of where to go from there, or you know how to fix it, or you know how to keep up with your consistency.
Or what you are doing, what you're not doing that should be doing. So for me, that one sheet, and I know we do it in our business plan, I think if we write down what exactly we do for our business, not, driving people around or looking, the stuff that we do all the time, but what are you doing for your business to stay, what's consistent, and kind of like going over all of these things, like spending, 10, 15 minutes a morning on your client management system.
Right.
And then we're always, I know all the time, talking about sending note cards.
Yes.
Yes, you're working on that. Reach out to them, call, whatever, but send out 5 note cards a week. You could do that all in one day. It's going to take you 15 minutes.
Right.
I personally love social media to be able to find reasons for sending those note cards.
And yes.
Personal. One of my friends recently lost a parent, and they just got, a sympathy card from an agent they don't know. I mean, and she's an agent.
Oh my gosh, I saw that post. Oh my gosh.
Talk about tacky. So,
well, it wasn't, I mean, it was a sympathy card from an agent that she doesn't know, not because the agent was saying, hi, I won't say her name, so-and-so, so sorry about the loss of your mother-in-law. It was, hi, Mr. and Mrs. blah, blah, blah. So sorry about the loss of your mother. Here's my business card, and when you're ready to sell the house, let me know. That is a do not.
Oh, please. No. No, no, no. 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 No.
But if it's you saw someone lost their mother, it's a friend or a customer or even another agent, and you send the card, that no business card needed. Okay, that you're not. That's not what this is about. And it's funny. I was thinking about this the other day. I received a card from someone who is on my MLS committee. Who I don't know other than the MLS committee, and she sent me a card to my house about my mom, and it touched me honestly because it was I don't know, she went out of her way to do that, and that was quite
It
lovely,
that
honestly.
seems, but that's not with the card or something. And that same agent
Right,
that we were talking about sent me an anniversary card. It was branded on the front. It had just the balloon, and then it had her signature. It had her logo, but there was no card, like business card, inside of there.
right,
And still, I didn't think that was tacky at
right,
all. I mean, it was like a branded card. You could get those, Vistaprint, whatnot. But it was so nice.
yeah,
I didn't receive an anniversary card from anybody else. Not that I
right,
ever expected that, but it was a thing is, whether it's your sphere, it could also be your partners. It could be, your referral partners, other agents, these note cards are not, they don't have to be just your sphere. Let
right,
it be, your referral partners, other agents, people, because I mean that you're still getting business from them, right? I
yes.
know one of our favorite agents in the Jacksonville area, always getting cards from them. Always.
Oh,
I mean,
and it's funny, I just sent his name to somebody recently,
but
who was
then
looking
it's
for
like
someone.
that. Nobody ever does that.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
did.
yeah,
So he was always the person, my top of mind, because he was always friendly with us. It's not, it would, everything was always genuine. Just, hey, I saw you did this. I love that, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't tacky. It was
So
genuine.
right. So my old office mate Jeannie Hansen, what she used to, she's an avid newspaper reader, and she would read something in the newspaper, and if she saw something in the newspaper, like whatever Jimmy won the track meet or whatever, I don't even know, she would write a card to the parents. I saw about your son in the and she wouldn't put her card in there. She didn't say call me if you need real estate. She just had her return address label that said Jeannie Hansen, Remax Elite, blah
Right.
blah blah.
Right. So that's like not, I feel like we get tacky.
Yeah,
And then it's just tacky. I think it's just tacky. But
right,
I think, we're so genuine, and there's subtle ways to do things. And I'm more of a subtle, I'm not all about me, 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 me. I mean, that to me, that's just, I've never been able to be that way. I'm not a salesman. I everything I do is word of mouth. It's just who I am. But
right,
I think when you come from a place of being genuine, like I think people are, I think you just have to be transparent. And
correct.
I think we're smart. We're so smart now. We see right to that car salesman type approach. And I think that's, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, no, totally, totally agree. And I'm always saying this. This is so different from selling anything else. You can be a great salesperson. Look, I've been selling things since I was 14 years old. It's all I've ever done. I mean, that's my friends tease me, my college friends. Oh, you've got a new career, or they tease me because you've been in real estate now for 22 years. That's like your longest commitment ever. I've been with Remax Elite for 15. Like, golly. Other than having children, those are my big lifelong commitments. And so I've always sold things, but this is different. This is not, you're not selling someone a house. You're guiding them through the process of them buying or selling a house, but you're not, you don't have anything to sell. You're not selling it to them. So it takes a more genuine personal approach to be successful at this.
Yeah, no, I agree. So definitely working on your client management system, sending out note cards. I mean, super
And
important.
here's another one, touch base with a past buyer, because what are past buyers? They're future sellers. So if there's somebody you haven't spoken to in a while and there's a reason to reach out to them, or just reach out to them because you're thinking about them. But again, it has to be genuine. It has to be um, from the heart. But, especially in this time. Might they be thinking about selling? The market is still good. So, are you reaching out to them saying, hey, in case you want to have an idea of what your home would sell for, let me know and I'll let you know, or just do it and say, hey, just kind of wanted you to know what's going on in the neighborhood. It's kind of crazy. But here it is.
And I know when we were doing brainstorming on that first app, one of the biggest things that the hangups that agents had was like, I closed with these people 5 years ago. I don't even know how to approach them after 5 years of no contact.
Right,
How do I do that? And the agent that, I mean, the stats were incredible on how he was using the system. His advice was, basically he comes from a place of, he's being genuine. And he's like, I just started coaching and they wanted me to reach out to all my past clients. I feel horrible that, time flies so fast. It's been 5 years. Did
right.
you ever do that kitchen update? Or, did, the kids go to, I mean, there's so many different things. You have to remember that transaction. And, hopefully if you are using your management system, you maybe have notes in there of,
Right.
the kids, the dogs, whatever. Maybe that they were looking to redo the kitchen or do this or do that. So that's where your management system is going to really help you. And he just came from a place of being genuine. Like, I can't believe it's already been 5 years. I, and just that gave him such a response because he was being genuine.
Yeah.
And you don't have to, I think sometimes we overthink that part, especially when you haven't reached out in so long. Just start the process. And he just kind of had these little notes that, so it was super easy to text them. And then he would just tweak it, remembering that person. And again, this is where social media can really help. You go find them, see what their life is going on, and it gives you a topic to be able to reach out to them.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, uh, social media is awesome for that because at least you can, see what's going on in people's lives. But it's funny. One of my friends said two of my friends are not on social media, and they're like, "No, I just wait till I see the people, and then I can hear everything about them." Which I get that as well. It's like, why do I need to see
I
you?
don't
I
know. To me, it's like a game changer, and I think you can use social to work, for you instead of,
correct.
because
Agreed.
there are,
Agreed.
I don't know. I just, for me, it keeps that relationship so strong so that when I do see them in person, it's a hug, not a handshake. I haven't seen them in 10 years, but I feel I see them all the time.
Right.
And we know what's going on and we can inquire about different things and, stuff like that. So that's where there's so much power for me. That's where I see the power in social media.
Right, right. Yeah, it's funny. I saw we have a new lender partner, Supreme Lending, and I've known Phil Davis for years, but haven't seen him for years. And so I went in to welcome him into their new office, and I walked in, and he was like, "Hey, good to see you." I was like, "Hey," like because I've been following his life on Facebook, and I think he's been following my life on, you know what I mean? And it was like just big hug, good to see you, welcome to Remax Elite. But I agree, it sort of gives you it gives you that feeling that you know the person, and you do know the person, but you know more than you would have known if you weren't on social media.
I mean, you see the kids growing up, you see the animals. I mean, there's so many different aspects that you see, their adventures, their this, their that. I think to me, it just makes that conversation so much smoother
Right,
because you feel like you've been there through whatever's going on.
right,
And
agreed.
and the last thing I think is probably the most important, especially within these last couple years where, our heads are, we're just kind of have that momentum and, our brain is attached because it's attached. But I feel this has been something that a lot of agents have missed. And it's also something that probably causes the most stress because they've just been so crazy busy. And it's just taking that time for you and for the family.
Yeah,
I think that's so important, even if it's just, you want to go to the gym and do yoga. You want to make sure to go to the ball games of the kids. You just want to be present in the moment. Put the phone away and just
Right.
be present, even if it's only 30 minutes. But,
Right.
be
Baby
present
steps.
in
Baby
the
steps
moment.
if you're having a hard time doing it, because it's hard for me, but baby steps for sure.
Yeah. And just don't, maybe not take, a whole weekend, but it doesn't take that. It could just be going out to dinner and just turning the phone aside.
Yep.
Uh, just little things, but I think that's so important with relationships and just our own self, just to kind of keep us balanced. Because I mean, and that's part of our business planning is creating that balance. And I know the last couple years have just been unlike anything we've ever really experienced before. And
Right.
that is something I feel is the first thing that goes away
Right. Right.
is that balance and yourself and your family.
Right. For sure. For sure. I mean, and that's it's super important to the making you feel recharged and able to focus on your business because you've taken the time to be with your family, or yourself, whatever that is, or your dog or your cat, whatever, whatever it is that makes you happy. We've always talked about, when you want to ramp up your business, you need to talk to your family and ask them for permission so they understand how much work you're going to be doing. But make sure in that work that you're doing, you are taking the time for them and yourself, for sure.
And I think that's for me the easiest way to do that was to go up in the mountains because I had no reception. So nothing would happen on my phone. There was no, having to do this or this. So just taking that afternoon to go up. I mean, my phone wasn't going crazy and it was kind of nice,
Right. Right.
Um,
Right. And I don't know who I said this to a couple weeks ago. Gosh, where was I? I think it was at the Board of Realtors. Oh, I was in the MLS committee meeting, and we were talking about how, maybe you'll get a text or a call from an agent, and if you don't respond right away, it was about if you're texting an agent about a showing or information on a listing or whatever, and they don't respond in an hour or 2 hours. What I was saying to the MLS committee is, because people are like, we need rules as to how quickly they need to respond, and it's like, no, we live in this wacky world now where we expect a response like this, and that's just not reality. What if you're with another customer? What if you're at the dentist? What if you're, whatever it is you're doing? We need to start giving each other some grace and not expecting this auto response right away. We've created this for ourselves, this expectation that's not reality. I mean, it's not.
I think that's just society in general,
Yes.
because that's just how everything is right now. So,
Yes.
I mean, and
Yes,
it's
yes, and Susan, yes, you're right. That's Susan, who I don't know if you've been on our podcast before. At least you haven't commented before that I recall. Susan Lewis, we become slaves to our business and forget what is important in your lives. And you're right. I mean, you're so right. It's take time for yourself and your family, because if you're not doing that, what is all of this for?
right. Right. And I just think to me, the just important to make sure to take some time, even if it's 30 minutes a day.
Yep.
Put the phone aside, compose yourself, be present in the moment. I just think that's important. So
Yeah.
what is so the recap is
Yep.
working your client management system, sending 5 note cards a week, which we're always saying. So many ways that you could be doing that. Touch base with your past buyers, taking time for your family. So making sure to do these every single day,
Yep. Yep.
which it sounds like that should be easy, right?
Yeah, it should be easy. Make sure
Easier
you're
said than
blocking
done.
it in your calendar that you're doing it, and you're getting it done, honestly.
What's our weekly activity for the week?
Plan for activities to recharge you from now until the end of summer. Whatever that is. It could be something as simple as going to the beach for an hour, or having a family dinner maybe you haven't had a family dinner in a while. I know I haven't because I have one kid here and one kid there. Plan a family dinner, but plan 4 meaningful activities between now and the end of the summer to help you recharge. It doesn't have to be a vacation. It doesn't have to be,
Nope.
anything extravagant. It can be something really simple.
Anything just to be present in the moment.
Yep,
And
exactly.
then the words of wisdom, I thought this was very appropriate, is the future is created by what you do to.
Oh, I don't know if Heather's frozen on everybody else's screen, but she's frozen on mine. So it's the future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow. Yep, I think she's still frozen. Oh, goodness. I can't tell if she is or she isn't. So I'm going to go with she is still frozen. So make sure, yeah, so that's it. The future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow. We thank everybody for watching. And as Heather always says, wake up, kick ass, and repeat. See y'all soon.